It said on here I could put applause and a drum roll. Oh, look at that. Well, tonight, hi, this is Get Real with Rick Dancer. I'm kind of playing around here. This is kind of fun. Um, our show is sponsored by Dr. Michael Bratlin at Chris Dental Family Dentistry in Eugene, Oregon. If you're looking for a dentist who believes in freedom of speech and that you should be able to say what you want to say, Dr. Bratlin is your man. He gets a lot of traffic off of that because he truly is a patriot. He's a guy who believes if you're a Democrat, you can believe what you want to believe. He doesn't care. He's not picking. But if you are a leftist, then you might not want to go there. I'm just saying. But he sponsors our show, and we are happy to have him along. Man, this is getting very, very popular. Let me bring on tonight. We're talking about Governor Kotek, and I got to give her a little plug. You know, she wasn't doing Lebanon High School is looking for votes. So that's something you can do. Go to Lebanon High School's Facebook page. They're looking for votes because they need $1 million to redo their stadium, and T-Mobile is doing a contest for them. And so before, they had asked Tina Kotek if she would send them a video to support their effort, and she sent back a note, or her staff did, that said they don't do fundraisers. It's not a fundraiser. Ugh. So I guess she finally got pressured. I've been hassling her on here all the time. And I think a bunch of you hassled her and she finally did it. So good for you, Tina. We're happy. We still want you out of office, but we're happy that you came to your senses and decided to be a kind and gentle human being and help a bunch of kids get a new stadium. Such an effort, I'm sure. Now we're going to talk about the recall of Tina Kotek, because even though she did one nice thing under pressure, we're not going to give her credit for too much. So here is Bill Mannix.
Wow.
Bill, how do you like that? I've got a drum roll now.
I was doing my drumsticks here.
I can even put a background in here. Look at us. This is fun. And I've got the banners, the little things that you sent me to show people where to go. So Bill is the guy behind the attempt to recall Governor Kotek. And Bill, you've had a bunch of different developments. Now let's first talk real fast for you, those of you who are out there who are planners. This Saturday, there's a big caravan coming from all over the state and converging on Salem at the Capitol for a rally. Kind of explain what's going on, Bill.
You bet. Our caravan and rally is called Boots Across Oregon, and the Boots is a boot that's going to boot Kotek. And we've gotten volunteers in every county that have set up a starting point so that we all converge from all the counties to Sportsman Warehouse in Salem on Lancaster Northeast by noon on Saturday, this coming Saturday. From that point on, the police are going to be escorting us into the Capitol, going on I-5, taking Portland Road off of I-5 on over to Fairgrounds and on into the Capitol. We have semis involved. We have pickups involved. We have cars involved. And we're looking at over probably 100 or so more vehicles that have already responded. So it's going to be huge. We're looking forward to it.
And then you got people that are speaking at this event in Salem.
Yes.
When you planned this, I don't think we had the no king BS protest thingies going, because you're kind of countering the no kings and we've got no queens. I guess yours is the no queens, or get rid of the queen.
There we go. They're going to, in my opinion, they're going to look weak with all the people we're going to have. We're expecting high numbers in the hundreds or even possibly in the thousands at this rally. It's just like the recall, it's taken off virally and people are wanting to get involved. They want to parade. They want to make noise.
So this is a peaceful protest, and it's a chance for people to sign the petition. You'll have the petitions there for people to sign, right?
We'll have the recall petition as well as a no vote by mail petition there.
Okay, so and you know what we'll do? We'll come back to that because I have some stuff that kind of I can put up here for people to see that they can kind of go back and look at that. But tell me first, I want to go back, and the Secretary of State's been kind of doing some bullshit. and you've hired an attorney. Explain what's going on, Bill. I want people to know.
The Secretary of State has got their demand letter yesterday from my attorney that we're about to sue them. Oregon for the People's about to sue them. Basically, it's for election corruption that's going on with the Secretary of State. To begin with, we noticed that a lot of people weren't signing the petition, and I was getting emails and phone calls. People confused that they couldn't sign the petition because the cover sheet that they made on our petition is a county cover sheet, not a state county sheet, a state cover sheet. And what it states basically is only people in the district and in the county can sign the petition, Oregon voters. Well, that's wrong because any Oregon voter in Oregon can sign in any county. So we're fighting that because we might have lost quite a few signatures.
How many do you think that you might have lost if they don't count that?
I would say probably an easily 30,000.
So that's a big deal.
It is. It is. It's hard to estimate, but I'm just guessing 30,000. And we have solid grounds to get an injunction, and we're excited about that. The other part is they have a validation process here in Oregon. It's very validation process is very, very unfair. They allow volunteers to come in and observe, but they can't actually observe what they're throwing out, the signatures they're throwing out. Volunteers never get to see them. So he's suing on that grounds to make sure when our validation time comes in a week and a half, that our observers are going to be able to see what they're throwing out and rebuke it. And so that's the second part of the lawsuit. The third part of the lawsuit is during the middle of this, the Secretary of State decided to put a new template out, the electronic signature sheet, which is a single sheet, and decided to put that out and send me the new one. And it went to my junk email spam, so I didn't see it for quite a while. And stating that all the signatures I had on the old petition would be invalidated because they decided to come out with a new one. Well, I counted all the ones that I have, a rough count, and it's over 34,000 signed signatures. So we're suing on those grounds to stop that nonsense. They're doing everything they can to corrupt us, but we're doing everything we can to protect the Oregon voters, and we're going to protect them. We have a really strong case. The lawsuit will be filed Friday morning.
Okay, now people are coming on here going, I don't know where to sign. I haven't been able to find it. You guys, you go to OregonForThePeople.com and you download right from there. This is the I don't know what century we're in, but whatever century we're in, you don't have to just show up. They do have people that are setting up little booths, but you can just go right online and pull off a sheet. And then you can even pull off a sheet and get 10 of your closest friends to sign it as well. Right, Bill?
Yes. And if you do that, you want to make sure you get them mailed to me by October 21st, because I turn everything in October 27th. But I want to mention also, when you go to our website, you can find the locations of where there's pop-ups all over the state. And that gets updated daily. When you go to the website, there'll be a red button that says locations. You hit that and it takes you right to it.
Randy says, no offense, but he doesn't think it's very well organized. How do you gather a few leaders across the state to ensure that the recall is effective?
You want to repeat that again?
Randy says he doesn't feel like people don't know about it, he thinks. And he thinks that you need to get more leaders involved.
Well, Randy, why don't you get involved with us and help us out?
Do you think that on this thing on Saturday, that people will be coming in from different directions? In fact, you know what I can do? I can pull this banner up. Here's your first one. It kind of cuts us off a little bit, but this is the Portland metro area caravan, 10:15. That's where they get together. And Bill, is all this on your website as well?
It's all on Facebook. My administrators are working on putting it on the website. That will be up within the hour.
Okay, so there's that. Then here's Clackamas, and so this is telling people, and police are going to escort you guys from your location. And there's a lot of directions, folks, that people can go and find out. You can find these. That one won't come up. Oh, there we go. Benton County, Washington County. What's the response been so far that you're hearing, Bill?
2 weeks ago, hardly had any response. Over the last 2 weeks since I was on your show last, it's gotten huge. I'm getting calls. I had calls right up to our show till I muted my phone. And this morning I spent time with 4 different trucking companies, and they're getting their drivers to decorate and flag their tractors, and they're going to be involved. And yeah, the response is really huge. It's going to be a big caravan.
Do you know, are any of the other, because there's another petition drive, initiative petition drive gathering signatures to revoke vote by mail. Do you know if they're going to be there as well?
The no vote by mail people will be there. They'll be setting up with us at the same table their petition along with our petition, and then we're also going to have a speaker. And I'll let you. You're probably leading up to that, so I'll wait.
Yeah, who's going to be there? Go ahead and talk about the event. Who's coming? Who's going to be speaking at the event for people?
Senator Robinson will be speaking, state senator. Danielle Bethel, who is our county commissioner for Marion County and also running for governor, she's going to be speaking. We have various other organizations that are going to be speaking. My admins are going to be speaking and making sure that we thank Oregonians for doing all the hard work for us. And then we're going to have a speaker from the no tax referendum that's going to be coming out. And that's going to be a petition that we're going to work on as well, along with Congressman Ed Deal. And they'll be speaking about the referendum so all the Oregon voters can sign that petition when it comes out, sign that petition and put it to the ballot where we don't have to have this tax bill.
So when do you have to have this done, and when do you have to have all the signatures in?
Technically, right now, I need to have them all in by October 27th in our lawsuit. And I guess I'll go ahead and say it. I don't want people to stop working hard. Okay, keep working hard because we want to make this too big to rig. We want to surpass our numbers. But it looks like that we're probably going to get a court order that will come out sometime next week, which will give us an additional 30 days.
So that's what you're hoping. There's no guarantee on that. So people should still be act as though this is October 27th.
Exactly.
And then if this court order goes through, that could buy you a little more time. Here's Pebbles the Jeep. She's going to be in Newburgh on I-5 on Thursday at Aero Lock and Safe with a Kotek recall sheet.
Awesome. Thank you.
So why do you think, I mean, people are really, I don't even know. That's a stupid question. Why do you think people are doing this? Well, for one, look at this transportation tax that the governor and the Democrats passed, and she's dragging her feet. She knows they only have 90 days to gather the signatures that they need. And so rather than, isn't this whole no king thing about democracy and how they are afraid that democracy is going to be taken away from them, when that's exactly what Governor Kotek is doing by dragging her feet, taking away that right for people to gather those signatures, making it limited. It's going to be like a month less. It's going to give them half the time by the time they're done to get those signatures. If you were a good governor and you really were fair, you'd sign the bill. Well, what you would have done is put this out to a vote of the people. But she knows if she did that, it would be gone. But even if you wanted to pretend, you would at least sign it right away and give people as much time as they can to get this thing on the ballot, so then you could be fair. But this isn't about fairness, and that's why people are sick of her, and that's why she comes in near dead last in terms of popularity of governors in the country. I mean, she's at the bottom of the heap.
She is, and we look forward to this being successful. And a lot of questions come up about, well, what's going to happen if we get the validation and the number of signatures? Well, let me explain to your people. what's going to happen. By the time I turned it in October 27th, there's 30 days for the elections office to validate and either approve the recall or disapprove the recall. If the recall is approved and we have the signatures that are validated properly, and she's given 5 days from the end of the 30 days to step down and turn her office over to the Secretary of State, which is Tobias Reed. People are worried about Tobias Reed taking over. Have no worries. He's got just as much baggage, if not more, with this third lawsuit that's coming on that he's going to carry over, and it's going to shadow over him. And as long as our party, whatever party is going to move forward, as long as they get their candidate in that's really strong, we're going to beat Tobias easily.
Because I know the political pundit people all, have been saying that, like, oh, well, they get Tobias, they'll get. You're going to have an incumbent either way. I mean, if Tina doesn't get recalled, she's the incumbent, and she stands a much better chance than Tobias Reed because nobody knows who the hell he is. And she stands a much better chance of winning re-election in Oregon, even though she's so unpopular, because the Democrats do that all the time. They just vote for they're real good at sticking together. It's too bad the Republicans couldn't do that better. They're really good at sticking together. But it's not helping Oregon when you have a leader like that who's not she's not democracy queen. She doesn't care.
No,
These are all, this whole no king thing is just like more garbage, more, talk, more BS. And it's just crap. And it's like, you and I, cause we talk and stuff, but it's so funny that they have this, Trump is coming in and doing this and doing that and doing this. What about Joe Biden and the laptop? What about Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton and the Russian collusion? What about, we could go on and on and on of all the times the Democrats tried to take away the democracy from the people by what they were doing to Trump. And now Trump calls in the National Guard because Portland's a shithole and they get all excited about it. Yeah, the whole town is not. That's because when you live in your neighborhood, you don't have to see it. But the fact that they're doing what they're doing down there and keeping, I've seen stories of businesses that are suffering down there because people won't go down that direction, that part of town. That's not democracy. That's terrorism. And they don't see it that way, but it doesn't mean it's not the truth. And it drives me crazy because they, of all people, to talk about, we want democracy. You took it away. Joe Biden told people they had to take the vax or they'd lose their job. I mean, come on. That isn't democracy.
To speak about the Portland, how corrupt or how ugly it is and all the trash they have, we get a lot of responses from people that are volunteering in Portland, and they're fed up with what's going on in Portland, and they feel they don't have a voice. And this has given them a voice because they want Portland to be a big, beautiful city it used to be, where people would shop, they'd walk along the river, they would have fun instead of tripping over tents, syringes, and things like that. And so people are speaking out. They want to change in Portland. We want to make Portland beautiful again. And this is the only way to do it.
And I would love someone to explain to me how it's seen as kindness to allow people with mental problems and alcohol and drug problems to suffer on the streets of Portland. How is that, and how many millions of dollars has Governor Kotek and the legislature put towards affordable housing and done absolutely nothing? John Parker brings up a good point that could piss some people off, but if our Republican legislators were worth a crap, they'd help draw people to every petition campaign located in their individual district. Instead, they fear generating behind them. So
I would agree with that.
Yeah, we've heard more negative, like why it's not going to work. And that's what Republicans have to stop. Stop the negativity and start going, how can we make this happen if we really want to make this kind of change? Instead, it's like, nothing's going to change until we get rid of mail-in elections. Well, if you keep that attitude, nothing will ever change. Do they need to be changed? Yes, but that's not the most highest priority on the list. And even if it were, you got to take baby steps to get there. You know what I mean?
Some of these legislators we're not going to change. They've been in there for way too long. And the ones that aren't acting on the will of the people, those are the ones we need to vote out. And people really need to pay attention when they go to the ballot and they check their boxes and look back. Go to the west. Go online and look and see what they've done for Oregonians. Go online and see which party they voted for on certain bills. And if they're not voting for the will of the people, we need to fire them. That's the only way we're going to straighten this out.
Angela, you can go to online to Oregon for FOR, thepeople.com. That's where you can get your own. You can sign it yourself. It's not, you don't have to go to a place to sign. It's the new era. We have computers now. Everything can be done digitally and online. So you can do that. Hey, did you see this report? Oh, I can't hear you, Bill. Your microphone.
Let me correct that real quick. You cannot sign online, but you can print the online petition and then mail it to me. So I just want to clarify that.
Okay, so that's how you do it, Angela, if you don't want to have to go. And everything's on there to describe and tell you what to do, how to get it to Bill, and when you need to do that and all that kind of stuff. Hey, Bill, did you see this big headline in Oregon? I'm just getting you into trouble here. That Oregon spends $1.5 billion on a program, a medical program. Now it helps other people too, but included in that is healthcare for people who are illegally in our country or in our state, in your state, in Oregon. 1.5 billion, and they are short state police. They have 717 million that they spend on the state police, and they're spending 1.5 billion on medical. And it was all every radio station, and I was hearing it on national radio things going, now look what's going on in Oregon. And yes, some people are going, oh, but it's misleading. Well, welcome to the media. That's how it always is. But the fact that any money is being spent from taxpayer dollars for healthcare for people who aren't here legally convince me that that is right.
It's not. It's a waste of taxpayers' money. It's not what people want.
People are struggling. In Oregon, they're struggling right now. And then you find out, I'm struggling to pay my health care, and part of my tax dollars are going to pay for people that aren't even supposed to be here. So
exactly. And you know what I think is a big misnomer that a lot of people in Oregon don't understand when it comes to illegal immigration? It's illegal to be in this country under federal law if you did not come in the right way.
Right.
And if they're illegal and did not come into our state or country the proper ways, they are not entitled to due process like we are. It needs to stop. So that misnomer needs to end, and people need to realize it is illegal for them to be here illegally.
So remember when Trump was running and the Democrats kept saying, oh, he's not going to follow the law. He's going to do whatever he wants to do. Well, so far with the guard, as I've seen anyway, the reports I've seen, he's following the law. Now they're taking him to court on everything, but he's coming out like it seems like he's winning. And he at least attempts to follow the law. How is having protests and fight and against ICE for doing their job of getting people who are not supposed to be here out of here, and they're focusing on criminals. So you're protesting to keep criminals in this country that we don't have. I don't get it. It's absolutely, it is just, it's beyond me. So Bill, go through one more time and we'll wrap this up, but I want you to get through one more time, explain what's going on Saturday and how people get involved, and then tell them how to get the information they need to get in that caravan.
You bet. The caravan is called Boots Across Oregon. There's starting points from every place, every major city in the different counties. I will be posting, or Donna, my administrator, is probably going to be posting as we're talking because she's listening to the show. She'll be posting the routing maps, and there's The routing maps will give times for people to leave to make sure they're at our conversion point, which is Sportsman Warehouse on Lancaster Drive, Northeast in Salem, at by noon. And at that point, we will be taking our caravan with all of our flags and our signs on into the Capitol with a police escort.
And then that's where you're going to have an hour long
We're going to have
conversation.
an hour and a half long rally with speakers. The rally actually starts at 1 because we're going to have some music and rally festivities going on and giving people a chance to sign the 2 different petitions. We're also going to be playing music, rally music, get people in the mood. And then at 2 o'clock, the speakers begin, and we'll be posting the speakers online on the website before the day ends. And that goes on for an hour and a half. That's how many speakers we have. They each get 10 minutes each, and we've got quite a few speakers.
Bill, thanks for doing this. I know you're taking this on yourself, and you got a lot of volunteers helping you because that's how Oregon works. But I know you're kind of the guy behind this thing, and you got your money in it, especially with these attorneys. I'm sure you're having to fight that.
Can I take a second to say something real quick?
Oh, of course you can.
I want to thank everybody out there, the audience out there, with the calls, the emails that I'm getting bombarded with, and I didn't even know who you people were. And you're out there volunteering. I'm getting phone calls that volunteers who are properly following the instructions have 400, 700, 300 petitions in the mail heading this way. And you should have seen my pile of mail yesterday. We had over 10,000 signatures arrive in the mail yesterday. So I have to thank all of Oregon that's doing this, getting behind this, and keep doing it because you're doing a wonderful job. You're going to make this happen.
And to the naysayers, you say?
Nay.
I think, Bill, what I would say to the naysayers is at least you're trying. I mean,
exactly.
Is it better to sit, even if this doesn't happen, which I think it will, but if it doesn't happen, there's no shame in that. It's what you have shame in is if you sit on your ass and do absolutely nothing when this is going on and just bitch. I mean, Oregon is not, we're not a bunch of bitchers, it should be people getting up and going, how do we make this better? And this is one attempt, one way that could help make it better.
I don't have time for the naysayers. I ignore them. I don't respond to their comments. I have a mission here. I know what I believe in, and I'm going to push what I believe in. And apparently, a lot of Oregon is behind what I believe in because it's their same beliefs. So be it, naysayers. You have no control over this.
John Parker says, I did term limits in Douglas County initiative petition, and the petition process is not an easy thing. Thank you for doing what you're doing. Yeah, if you guys,
thank you, John.
Oregon, I think, was the first state in the union to have a referendum system, and it was back in the I think it was in the early 1900s. But what's sad is, and I've seen it on both sides of the legislature, they've made it very difficult because the purpose of doing what you're doing is because it's an avenue because lawmakers aren't listening to the people. So when the lawmakers don't listen to the people, this is your last resort. You, the people, put it to the vote and get it out there. But the Secretary of States, and especially under the Democrat reign of terror, they have made it so difficult because they don't want your voice. They tell you they want you to have democracy, but they don't want your voice heard. They want to do what they want to do. And they know if they can just appease you with headlines and the media sucking up to them, that you'll go away. Well, you're not going away now because you've seen what they did during COVID. You've seen how they control you. You've seen where the real kings are, not in the White House, but in state capitals in blue states right now. You've seen that. You know what I get a lot, Bill? That just cracks me up. I think it's so funny. And it's only, so all the responses I get, we're getting tons and tons of stuff. And people that agree with us have common sense. They're always like, thank you for being so bright and cheery and talking about this and being willing to. And you're always so positive. And the other side, all they do is you're divisive, you're negative, you're angry. It's like, yeah, you know what? I am angry that you've ruined the state of Oregon. So guess what? With a smile on my face and a skip in my step, I'm going to fight you every step of the way. And if that makes you unhappy, I'm happy. If that
That's
makes
it.
you angry, I'm happy. So I am not angry.
You
Am I?
know,
I'm passionate and I'm not going to take no for an answer. So they can sit on my page and go, it's really sad that you're so angry and you just divide people all the time. You already divided people. Look at what you've done to the state. You, not you, Bill, but you, the critics, you divided Oregon. You want Oregon divided. You want to be divisive. And all you do is then blame other people like me and Bill and others, and you put what you're doing, what you know in your heart you're doing, you try to put it on us. Well, guess what? We have deflectors like on Star Trek, and they don't work. Ours work. Your bullshit doesn't stick because we know. We've heard you, we know. Angry, no. Forceful, you bet.
speaking about anger and passion, I've got to thank my two administrators, Teresa and Donna, because I do have my moments behind the scenes. We get a lot of ridicule. We get a lot of people trying to roadblock us. And I do get frustrated because I'm here in La Pine by myself working on this with all my volunteers elsewhere. And there's frustrating moments. But my two administrators, they keep me in line, they keep me calm. So I thank you, ladies.
Um, okay, well, you can stay here for a second. So Nate Cromwell, you just made the stupidest statement ever. GTFO, then LOL, y'all MAGA, and then you said the R word, go to Idaho. Nate, you know what? That shows how freaking unintelligent you are. You're an ignorant person. And you know what? The R word is not to be used. It's just like calling a black person the N word for people with different abilities. It's not allowed on my page, and you're an idiot for using it. And yeah, I'm calling you names now too, because that just shows you're just a dumb guy sitting out there, MAGA. Oh, I'm going to call everybody names. So you call everybody names because you have nothing intelligent to say about this. So maybe you ought to educate yourself and stop using the R word because
Hey,
it
Nate,
offends. Huh?
Nate, I got something to tell you. I recognize the picture in your name, and we've blocked you off our Facebook comments because now you ran
Oh,
out of Facebook to complain and put MAGA people down. So you come onto our show and do it. I have no respect for you, dude. You know
so
what? Take your tail, tuck it behind yourself, and walk on by. All right, because we don't even notice
what's so sad is Nate is just a reflection of others who just act the same way.
you.
It's
Yeah,
like, so my question is to Nate, to you, why is it that people on the far left, I'm not talking about Democrats. I have tons of Democrats that are signing this thing, that are friends, that are good people. It's not about Democrats and Republicans. This is about the far left crazy insanity that's going on. And Nate, you would probably fall under that. But why is it that you guys always have to call us names? I mean, isn't that like middle school? Is that because you're not intelligent, or you haven't done your homework, or you're listening to whatever local news you have, and you're just listening to them regurgitate the same old bullshit instead of doing your own homework? And then when we bring up our homework, you call us more names. But you look at your comments. You always have to call people names. And I just wonder what that is. And I had somebody say the other day, you're so angry about this. And I go, "No, I'm not angry. I'm passionate. And I think Oregon can change. And I'm excited about that." But then I see a Nate comment and I get concerned because these people actually moved to Oregon. Nate, I bet you're not a native, are you? Because native Oregonians, we don't put people down like that.
hey, one more thing, Nate. You can still change your life. You're pretty young. Why don't you ask the Lord to forgive you and let Him into your heart? Maybe you won't be so hateful.
Well, there's just a lot going on in this world right now. And I think, the same people screaming at me that you're being divisive are the same people who are calling people names.
Yeah.
Matt Carter, what rally? There's a rally to recall the governor in Salem on Saturday, the same day as the No Kings rally. So if you're a No King person, you can go. You are living in a free state still, sort of. So you can go to the No Kings rally, or if you're somebody who believes that the governor is not acting in as the will of the people, and you want to sign a petition to get her recalled or put it on the ballot to get recalled, then you can go to Salem and go to that one. So it's going to be a big weekend of all kinds of protests. But the good thing is, that's what America's about. We get to talk, we get to say things, but calling people names, Nate, come on, grow a pair. I mean, that's
One
just
more one more thing on the rally and the caravan. We're taking the words from Charlie Kirk, "I will never surrender," and we're using that in our caravan in our rally. And we will take a moment at the rally to honor Charlie Kirk because President Trump has made October 14th National Remembrance Day for Charlie Kirk. It's going to be every year, and we're going to be our rally is 4 days after that. So we are going to take a moment for that as well.
um, so um, so everybody, the event starts at 1 o'clock at the Capitol in front. If you want to get on the caravan, you can go an hour earlier and go to Sports Warehouse.
Sportsman Warehouse in Salem on Lancaster Drive Northeast.
And then you can get in the caravan because that's going to be pretty fun. And then everybody can drive over there. But if you don't have time for that and you just want to show up for the festivities, that's when you go. So, Bill, thanks again. I appreciate the heck out of you and what you're doing. And yeah, you go, man.
You keep doing what you're doing. You're bringing in lots of people.
I plan to. I'll see you, buddy.
All right. Thank you, bud.
So that's Bill. He's an Oregonian. That's what Oregonians do. They fight for what they believe in. And so those of you who want to fight the No King thing, I think it's ridiculous, but I think you get I 100% support your right to protest No Kings. But I would ask you to do your homework and find out who the real authoritarian is if you're protesting the right people. But that would be mine. All right. So there you go. That's the information. Go to Oregon4thepeople.com, and you'll find in the next days or so, you're going to find all the information on where to meet and where to get going. If you're confused, just go directly at 1 o'clock to the state capitol. And I have a feeling you're going to see everything. You'll see everything right there. I'm Rick Dancer. Tomorrow night, we got a great show for you. I've got a board member from the Roseburg School District. This is the district where they had a trans young man, a boy who identifies as a woman, and he wanted to go into the girls' locker room. Well, the girls didn't want that, and the parents didn't want that. It created quite the fuss. And now the boy and his family have, they've reneged, which I totally credit them for that. Thank you for doing that. I don't know. They must have seen what was going on and they said, okay, and the district's looking to find out what they can do. I want to talk to this school board member because I was critical and some of you were very critical of the school board, but what can they and can't they not do? What will they do with this? What are things they're looking at? Just have a real upfront, basic, real conversation with a school board member. And I'm going to expect you guys to show up and be on your best behavior and not, you can ask questions, but we don't ask questions like Nate does. We don't put name calling in and we don't use derogatory words towards a group of people. So we're not going to do any of that, but we're going to have a real frank conversation to find out, I made some mistakes when I said some things about the board and I apologize to him. We've had a conversation. So put on your big boy pants. And if you're a woman, put on your big girl pants and come to the table and leave your luggage at home. All that baggage that people carry around. And I'm glad to have you here. Share this on your page. Let other people know what we're doing, what the conversations are about. For those who don't like me, we're getting like 6.5 million views a month on just my Facebook pages. So if you don't like me, I would probably just leave. But you kind of like me, huh? You kind of like to hate me? Oh, I like you. I'm glad you're here, even if you don't like me. That's okay. My mom always used to tell me, "You're not everybody's cup of tea, Rick." If your mama tells you that, you know it's true. Good night.